Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being part of our program. Here we are together again on the radio. We appreciate your patronage. And all these great stories, I'll tell you what, some days it feels like this show writes itself. It really does. When you consider how many of you have been sending great stories in, like the one I'm about to read. I'm not going to read the whole thing because it has a lot of numbers in it later in the story, and it goes on and on about specific people we don't know and we don't care about. But the story is fascinating, and although it's an article written by a woman, for women, it proves what I've been saying to you all along. And it's all that much more interesting when a woman has written it. This woman is named MP Dunleavy, and she wrote this column for a website, MSN.com, the women's section. And let me read to you from the MP Dunleavy column. She says, even for those of us who are setting aside some money each month, it never seems like enough. And far too often, our meager savings get swallowed up by some emergency or obligation. And, of course, there's the inevitable retail casualty. But we needed those new jeans. Yes, we did. Thing is, we're all struggling to work with the 60% solution, which includes setting aside 20% of your gross income for life's inevitabilities. I guess she's talking about emergencies. And 10% for fun. So in theory, unexpected expenses should be covered with money left over for true blue, can't touch that savings. So what's the problem? She says, I hate studies that deliver bad news about women's financial state, like recent research on bankruptcy. But here is some insight on women and savings. As you know, I've been telling you all along that women do not like to save, they like to spend. And the reason women do not know anything about saving or investment, the reason they don't like reading magazines like Money Magazine is because Money Magazine is not about spending money. That's all women care about in most cases, is spending money, not saving it or earning it or investing it. The column continues, and here is the bad news about women that was referred to. A recent Consumer Federation of America survey found that, and here are the bullet points, not only do most, 71% of women worry about their finances, nearly half, 49%, say they lose sleep over it. The biggest cause of financial angst for women is unexpected expenses. The median cost of these sudden expenses was $400, with total emergency expenditures running about $2,000 a year. Yet get this, 42% of women have less than $500 in savings. Yet, can you believe that? 42%. Let me repeat that. The average woman has emergency expenditures running about $2,000 a year. That's like you get a toothache and you got to run to the dentist, or you get sick, you go to the doctor, you've got co-payments. Got to pay co-payments on drugs, or maybe you don't have insurance. You've got to pay for the drugs yourself, or you've got to pay for the visit to the doctor yourself. Anyway, average running about $2,000 a year. And yet, 42% have less than $500 in savings. Younger women, ages 24 to 35, were worst off, with 55% of women between 24 and 35 admitting they had less than $500 in savings. Two-thirds of all non-savers don't even have a savings account. She goes on to say there's nothing scientific about this. She's just trying to be cute. The scientific conclusion I've reached is that savers are made, not born. And Anna, for example, was trained by her cost-conscious parents from an early age to save for whatever was most important and not spend on the junk in between. Alas, that is not the case for most of the rest of us. Saving is an acquired habit many of us are still struggling to acquire. When I looked around, I identified 3 classic anti-saving attitudes that prevent the savings habit from taking hold. 1, I'll just read the bullet points. I won't read the explanations. 1, how can I save when I can barely pay my bills? Well, if you didn't waste so much money on shoes and purses and accessories, clothing and cosmetics and what have you, and put it on your credit card at 18, 19, 20% interest rates, you wouldn't be in that position of not being able to pay your bills. 2, she says, the next one is, I don't know where the money goes. That's a reason people don't save. Reason women don't save. And 3, saving means I'll have to live on less. Yeah, that's right. That's how it works. You're exactly right. That's how it works. Yes, when you're saving, you have to live on less. Yes. Yes, you're spending less. Correct. That's how it works. It doesn't matter how much or how little money you have. The more you save, the less you have to spend. It's just common sense.
Woo, take a breather. You gotta take a breather, because I know I gotta take one.
It's very hard to feel sorry for women. You hear about these women who, are having financial problems in their 40s and 50s. I told the story once about the woman I dated who had a 6-figure income and had an executive position, and yet she hadn't filed tax returns in 7 years. She was near bankruptcy and ultimately filed for bankruptcy. She had her leased car repossessed, just towed right out of her driveway. And she wanted people to feel sorry for her. She felt sorry for herself. I mean, you just can't spend money like that. Because a woman's financial plan is based on the following. Well, this is the following game plan for most women. I am going to spend as much as I can on clothing, shoes, purses, and cosmetics. And vacations to places where guys hang out. The idea to meet Prince Charming. And once I meet Prince Charming, he will pay all the bills I've had to run up trying to find him. That is the financial plan for most women. Women don't save because they expect a man to come along ultimately and pay all the bills. That is why women don't save. We don't need columns like this on the Internet. We don't need cute, pretty magazines with pastel colors like Money for Women or the expanded sections of the Wall Street Journal or the weekend edition of the Wall Street Journal. We don't need any of that. We don't need it. If women would stop having a financial plan that included meeting Mr. Right, who would take out his checkbook and pay off your student loans, pay off your Visa card, pay off your MasterCard, pay off your American Express card, pay your car loan, pick up your mortgage payment, or you can sell your house, move into his house, then take the profits and spend those eventually. I mean, if women had a game plan that essentially was set up as if they were going to be alone for their entire lives, they would have a very different attitude about money. But most women have in the game plan the idea that a man will come along and start dumping cash into the pot. And that is why women don't have any savings. Isn't it?
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866.
You really do change lives. And, I mean, so many people want to say that you're a bad guy and all that, and it's crazy.
We're doing important work here.
It's the Tom Leykis Show.
The Tom Leykis Show. At 1-800-5800-TOM. That is our telephone number. Let's go to your calls. Nairobi on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey.
Hey.
How are you?
Great.
I just had a quick question. You're saying that most women don't save, and I was wondering, like, percentage-wise what you meant by that or how much.
I read it to you, statistics right off the Internet, a column written by a woman.
Yeah, I came in the middle, so, of your article there that you're reading.
So, in other words, you called up without knowing what I'm talking about.
No. I think you said somewhere about 42%.
42% of women have less than $500 in savings.
Okay, and, I mean, that's okay.
Women between 24 and 35, 55% of them have less than $500 in savings. That would qualify as most.
Mm-hmm. But I think that Americans in general have a problem with spending and not saving money.
Not as badly as women specifically have. Somebody is saving and investing money because the stock market is making trillions of dollars. Somebody is investing. Somebody is saving.
Okay, but I think that men also spend money on frivolous things.
Not as much as women do.
Okay.
Period.
I don't know. I just disagree.
Well, you disagree with no numbers. Let's hear your statistics. I read your mind. Let's hear yours.
I don't have any statistics.
I know you don't.
Know that I personally save money.
I don't care what you do. We're not talking about, this show is not about you.
I know it's not.
It's about millions of people, not just you.
Well,
generally speaking, women generally don't save. They generally wait for Prince Charming to pay the bills.
Well, seems like you watch a bit too much TV.
Again, this is a very weak argument, dear. You don't have any argument for this.
I'm not trying to argue with you. I'm just saying that women do save.
No, I just read you the statistics.
Well, I don't know. Well, I guess that's it then.
So don't these statistics have any meaning for you at all?
Yes, I did listen to what you had to say. I did.
Yeah, but these are statistics that were published by a woman who writes a column on women's finances.
I heard you say that as well.
Right. So are you saying that she has no credibility?
No, I'm not saying that at all.
Well, what are you saying?
I'm saying that you're reading one side of the argument. Do you also have statistics saying how much men save?
I read this column. And again, let me point out to you, it is men who do all the saving and investing. The ways you know is that it's men who read the Wall Street Journal. It's men who read Money Magazine. It's men who read Smart Money Magazine. It's men who read Forbes. It's men who read Barron's. It's men who read Financial Times. It's men who read the Investor's Business Daily. It's men.
Agree. Primarily, yes.
Yeah, well, why is that? You think these men aren't saving and investing?
Pardon?
I said, do you think that means that men are not saving and investing, even though they are the primary readers of all of these publications?
Not at all. Obviously, they're into that market and they're saving their money. But I'm saying you are presenting.
What financial magazines do women read?
You're presenting one side
what
of the argument.
I'm presenting the true side of the story. What financial publications do women read?
I don't know.
You can't name one. Which ones do you read?
None of those.
None. Which ones do you read?
None, really.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that
where is your money invested?
I just have a savings account.
How much do you have?
Right now I have about $1,900.
Ooh-wee, still my beating heart.
I'm only 22 and I just got out of
don't
college.
care. Did you hear what I just said? It says here in this article written by a woman that the average woman has about $2,000 in emergency expenses in a year. You do not have enough for 1 year.
Again, I just got out of college that I paid for. I still took the time out to set money aside.
What did you study in school?
I studied German.
German. And what are you going to do with German in Seattle?
I'm going to
import sauerkraut? What are you going to do?
No,
What's that?
Sir, I plan on teaching at an immersion school, if you must know.
Right. And when do you plan to start doing that?
As soon as I get certified with a certificate.
And how long will that take?
About 1.5 years.
I see. And what are you going to do for a living in the meantime?
I have a job right now.
What do you do?
I work for an insurance company.
And what do you do exactly?
Settle claims.
You settle claims. And what does that pay?
I make about $36,000 a year.
All right. So you make about $3,000 a month?
Yes.
Which means you take home about $2,000 a month, maybe a little more?
Yes, sir.
Now, how much is your rent?
$925.
$925. All right.
Yes.
So it's almost half of your take-home pay.
Almost half.
Yeah. And what do you do with the rest?
Some goes into savings, and then I pay the smaller utilities.
What do you mean you pay the smaller utility?
Yeah, like electricity, car insurance, things like that.
What are larger utilities?
Like, my rent is the largest expense that I have.
Right. And the job that you're hoping to get certified for, there's no guarantee you'll even get that job. But if you do, what does it pay?
The starting pay is about $55.
Uh-huh. And you plan to do that for the rest of your life, do you?
Pardon?
You plan to do that for the rest of your life?
I don't know. I enjoy the language, so it's possible.
So you're 22 and you're not even sure what you want to be when you grow up?
Yes, sir, I am sure.
You are sure. But you just said you're not sure if you'll do this your whole life.
I would like to, but other things may come up. I'm only 22.
Like what?
Like, I also have a degree in political science. I could choose to pursue that avenue.
Oh, that's very profitable.
Did you know what you wanted to do at 22?
Yeah, I knew what I wanted to do at 14.
Okay, well, that's excellent.
Yes, it is. And that's why I'm successful.
That's great.
Mm-hmm. Hang on a second here. Let me get Lindsay on. Lindsay, what do you want to say to Nairobi here?
I would just like to say I'm 21. I'm going to school to be an archaeologist, but you are making all of us women look like more of an ass because we do spend all of our money. What was the last thing you bought today? A People magazine? Because you probably don't read the investment magazines, do you? You read People, you want to read all this crap about all these celebrities spending your money when you're standing in the grocery line. I'm sorry, I spend my money on crap, and thanks be to God for the men, and thank you, Tom, every day for putting women in their place. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, you're living in a dream world. Anyone who believes that there are all these women out there saving, I just read the statistics.
Yeah. Who cares? You know what? I serve, boo-hoo. I put myself through school. Who cares? So many people do it. Stop playing the damn victim.
I'm not trying to play the victim, Lindsay.
Okay, and let me tell you something else.
I'm just saying that there's also a percentage of women that do save money. That's all I'm saying.
And Tom always says that there is an exception to the rule. There is always an exception. So I guess I'm playing for the women who agree with Tom. I got my CNA license, my nursing certification. When I was in high school, I went and I did that because I was determined. Now, I'm not using it. But, I mean, there's ways around it. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to take some woman's side. But I had to pull over. I was shaking. I was so pissed because I'm so embarrassed from all these women calling in, being put down. I like to be spanked. I like to be called dirty names, and I like to be put in my place. And I think that every single woman, once in a while or a lot, needs to have that done to her. And I don't know what you're whining about. Tom read the statistics. That's the way it is. I'm happy. And I don't know. I'm serious. What did you buy today?
What did I buy?
Yeah, what have you bought today? Honestly.
Honestly, nothing. I just got off work.
You did. And what are you planning to buy today?
Nothing.
Are you planning to go out to eat anywhere or do anything?
I'll probably go grocery shopping.
Probably go grocery shopping. Well, pick yourself up one of those People magazines while you're at it and let us know some statistics.
I'll be sure to do that.
Thank you so much, darling.
All right, Lindsay, Nairobi, thank you. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. It's Stephanie on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
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 Hi, Tom. How you doing?
Do you care?
Yes, I do, Tom.
I'm doing great.
Tom, I'd just like to say I am in complete agreement with you. Women are a bunch of just whores trying to get money out of men, and I know because I used to be one, and I spent all of this money. I got married to a guy expecting him to take me out of debt. He left my ass and left me with all the debt. And you know what? Men shouldn't have to worry about that. And it wasn't until after he left me that I finally got my act together and realized, you know what, I got to pretend like I'm alone here and take care of myself.
That's what all women have to do. You cannot have a financial game plan based on meeting Mr. Right.
That's right. You're absolutely right. And I appreciate you sitting there and telling us all the statistics. Maybe all the stupid women out there who spend all their money on crap will finally figure it out for once.
Yeah. You know how women are, walking through the mall going, oh, look at that. Isn't that cute?
Yeah, definitely.
Isn't that cute?
Mm-hmm.
Any adult woman walking around with any Hello Kitty merchandise, I think that tells you everything you need to know.
That's pretty pathetic.
But you've seen it, right?
I have seen it. It's very pathetic. Spend your money on something that counts. Pay your bills off, and then go ahead and...
You know, if instead... I'll tell you what. If instead of buying Hello Kitty merchandise, you took the money you spent on it and invested it in the Sanrio Corporation that makes Hello Kitty merchandise, you'd be a lot happier in the end.
Oh, hell yeah. Definitely. You're absolutely right.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Thank you, Tom.
Appreciate the call. It's Jen on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Well, I'm just calling to say that I am one of those people that does not save. I've actually went out and shopped today, spent $200 at Target, and I do wait for Prince Charming to pay my bills.
And are you with Prince Charming now?
No, Prince Charming just comes along every once in a while, you know, just pays my bills, and he's on his way.
So, in other words, you have a booty call paying your bills?
No. I don't do that. I don't.
Who pays your bills?
Guys I meet, like my job. I'm a bartender, so.
Guys at your job pay your bills? Those are morons.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And you're playing them, and well, at least you admit you're playing them.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. I've gotten by pretty good on it for quite some time, so, yeah. Drive a nice car, have a nice place. I'm doing all right. And I'm not embarrassed about it, so.
So you're a bartender, and how do you do this? You go to guys who are your customers and say, I've got a phone bill that needs paying? I mean, how does this work?
Well, I do the chit-chat with them for a while, smile, be cute, whatever. And if they want to listen to me or whatever or want to give me money, then I just let them. And most of the time they do.
I know there are idiots like that out there. I talk to them on the air all the time. I'm now hearing the other end of it, one of the women who plays guys like that.
Oh, yeah. I'll milk a guy for whatever he's willing to give me, and then if he wants anything from me, then he's on his way, and I'll move on to the next one.
I hope the boys are hearing this right now.
I hope so, too. The rich ones need to come.
That's right. All right, Jen.
All right, thanks.
Thank you for the call.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM.
How'd you marry somebody who doesn't like to go downtown?
I guess sheer stupidity.
It's the Tom Leykis Show.
From Los Angeles, it's the Tom Leykis Show. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being part of our program. I'm getting goosebumps. I am. Because Boys Night Out is 10 days away from the Paramount Theater in Seattle. 10 days away. The pace of ticket sales has picked up also as we get close to the date because people are realizing they can't keep pushing this back anymore. If you want tickets, you got to buy them now. No doubt about it. I'm your MC for this night of outrageous comedy that, well, we're going to say things there we could never say on this program. Bobby Slayton's our headliner. John DeResta and Steve Brewer are going to be with us on this leg of the tour. And I got to tell you something. It's just going to be over-the-top comedy, and it's a night of just guys getting together and being the guys, okay? By the way, next week also happens to be my 11th anniversary on the air in Seattle. It's no mean coincidence that Boys Night Out will come to the stage of the Paramount Theater the week of my 11th anniversary on the air on 100.7 The Buzz. So do get your tickets now. And really, if you've been thinking about it and putting it off, you're only 10 days away now. So time is of the essence. Call this number right now, 206-529-4051. 206-529-4051. You can go to Ticketmaster.com, or for any Boys Night Out event, you can go to blowmeuptom.com. All the information is there. It's Friday, September 30th, 1 week from this Friday at 8:30 p.m. at the legendary Paramount Theater in Seattle. Call now while you're thinking about it. 206-529-4051. There's going to be over 2,000 guys in that room at the same time. It's going to be over the top, outrageous. I promise. Believe me. Been on the air in Seattle a long time. You know what our events are like. Boys Night Out just takes to a new level. You will see. This is the same show that sold out the Wiltern Theater here in Los Angeles. So be there a week from Friday. 206-529-4051. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Desiree, you're on the Tom Leykis show. Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Great.
I'm just disappointed. I mean, I've been listening to your show for a little while, and you have just the most ignorant women calling in, the most ignorant men calling in that make up ridiculous claims, and they make no sense. I mean, it's just absurd.
Well, give us some examples.
Well, like the girl that just called in a few minutes ago, I mean, great. She likes to be spanked. That's awesome. But she doesn't need to say that over, the national radio. And if she's a whore and she likes to sell her...
Oh, liking to be spanked doesn't make you a whore, does it?
No, but making men pay for
taking money for sex, that makes you a whore.
Oh, I agree. Absolutely. That's the definition of a whore. But she's saying that she likes to run up bills and make her men that she lets spank her pay all her bills.
Well, you don't think there are men like that out there?
Oh, absolutely.
Well, then what's the problem with her calling in and telling us that?
She just, she praises you and, is like...
Because she knows I know what I'm talking about.
Okay, here's the deal. You have good points and you say really intelligent things sometimes, but the quality of your listeners are in the toilet a lot of the time. The guys can't even form sentences. They make up stories. I mean,
are you calling to critique the Tom Leykis show, or are you calling with an opinion about the topic we're talking about?
Both.
Well, how about the critique you say for when I have an hour of critiques, and we get to the topic we're discussing here?
Okay. I agree that some women do not know how to save money.
Most women. I have the statistics in front of me.
Right. Your statistics, that's good. But
from the Consumer Federation of America, where are your statistics coming from?
I'm not throwing out any statistics at all.
Well, I am, and my statistics are accurate.
The point is that where does your statistics come from?
I just told you where they came from. You're not listening.
Is that mutual funds? Is that taken into account?
It's whatever you would call savings.
Any form of savings.
Savings.
And all savings.
Savings.
And they're saying that women do not save less than $500.
Women between 24 and 35, 55% of them have less than $500 in emergency savings. And two-thirds of those women don't even have a savings account.
And men's statistics, we're not talking about them at all.
No, we're not talking about men here. We're talking about women. But clearly the people who are saving money are men. And I said it earlier. Men are the ones who read the Wall Street Journal, Barron's, Business Week, Money magazine. It's not women who read these magazines and newspapers.
Yeah, but men also read Playboy, and they're not banging chicks every day.
That's not my point, dear. The point is somebody's reading them, and we know it's not women. And the reason women don't read them is because women don't save or invest money.
It's totally, your statistics, yeah, you're right. That sounds really good on paper and whatever. But
what do you mean they don't just sound good on paper. They are factual.
No, statistics can be skewed to
explain to me how these statistics are skewed. I'm listening. I'd like to hear you tell me what's flawed with the methodology of this survey.
Well, I have no idea where it even...
Well, then don't start saying it's flawed. You have no idea if it's flawed or not.
I don't, and that's what I'm saying. So you go out on the air and you make these...
But beyond the statistics, look around you. It's obvious women spend. Shopping malls are geared to women. They're primarily populated by women. It is women who look in the window and say,
I'm going to finish this.
It's women who do that, not men.
Men are waiting until 28, 29, 30 years old to get married.
They walk by sports cars, but how many sports cars do you really see on the road?
Looking at other
I live
chicks
in
all
Orange
the
County.
time.
I
One
see
of
a
my
whole
men,
lot of
why
them.
men
Well, fine.
stay out
But,
watching
generally
Sports Center
speaking,
with
how
their
many do you
buddies
see?
all the time?
That's like I said. I mean,
Around the country, you generally don't see sports cars.
Yeah, but I'm saying, okay, women may make purchases.
You live in Orange County. Generally, you've got money.
There is a lot of money in Orange County. I agree.
Blah, blah,
But
blah.
that's why you see sports cars.
I know, but I'm saying that men
with a
make
traditional
purchases
female.
just as frivolously.
But men also save and invest money. I mean, look, dear, somebody is doing it because the stock market is brimming with cash. Where's it coming from?
Coming from businesses.
No, dear. No, wrong. It is not coming. Some of it is from businesses. The vast majority of the money in the stock market comes from individual investors.
You think that the majority of the money traded in the stock market is from individuals?
Absolutely yes. Because everybody who has a 401k, everybody who has an IRA, these are the people who have money in the market.
Right, but that's not considered. You think that those are considered in the statistics that you're talking about, that people don't have $500 in savings?
Yes.
That's not taken into consideration.
Yes, it is.
401ks?
Yes, it is.
Oh, my gosh.
That's part of savings.
And they're taking that into consideration for your...
Yes.
And how do you know this? You know the person that did the study and
Dear, I read the survey. I can't sit here and read it on the air. Look it up.
That's fine. Where is it posted at?
Consumer Federation of America. Look it up.
Okay, I will look it up. But I don't think that you should...
Here you are. You're arguing about the statistics. What, you're telling me all the women out there are saving and investing?
No,
how many stocks do you own?
No, of course not. And
what mutual funds do you own? I'd like to hear the names of the mutual funds, please.
I'm sorry?
Which mutual funds do you own?
I have Waddell and Reed. That's all I have.
Which one?
I just have a mutual fund.
Yeah, which one?
I have no idea.
You have no idea what you've invested in?
Oh, you mean, no, I just have like a mutual fund that goes towards, a lot of different companies.
What kind of companies? They're all aimed at a particular kind of company. What kind is yours?
I have no idea.
You have no idea.
No.
That's great. So here you are lecturing me. You have an investment, and you don't even know what you've invested in.
They take my money and put it with millions of other people's money and make...
Many of those people know what they're investing in. Why don't you?
Oh, well, do you know everything that you invest in?
Yes, I do. Boy, you're barking up the wrong tree here, sister, because I know every mutual fund I own. I know what kind of companies it owns. I know the names of the companies they own.
Well, I'm sure
I know how large the capitalization of these companies is.
Yeah, but I'm sure that you have a big chunk of change that you could be throwing, a substantial amount to even buy stock in a company.
Dear, let me tell you something. The less you have, the more you need to know about what investment you've got. Because your little investment in that one mutual fund, it consists of 100% of all your investments. You, more than I, need to know what you've invested in. The fact that you don't have a lot invested doesn't give you an excuse not to know what you're investing in.
Yeah, but I don't exactly have the time to be sitting around.
Oh, you don't have the time. Yes, you don't have the time. What are you doing with your busy little schedule?
I go to school and I work.
Go to school, work, you've got nail appointments, you got to spend time in line at Starbucks. Yes, you got lots of important things to do.
Yeah, I'm sure.
No time to read the prospectus of your mutual fund, which, by the way, would take about 15 minutes. You don't have time. You don't have time to look up on a website and find out anything about your mutual fund investment. You don't even know if you have a good mutual fund investment.
I have a low-risk account that is...
How do you know?
Because I know that I've watched it. I get my statements. And
you don't know if it's low risk. How do you know it's low risk? Where did you hear that?
When I first invested, when I met with my financial advisor.
Who is your financial advisor?
Joanne, with Waddell and Reed.
So, in other words, you walked into a storefront office in a mall somewhere and invested money?
No, I wasn't in a mall. They actually came to my college.
They came to your college.
Yeah, and
so the person from the company, but you never had any, and this is, I'm pointing out how little women know about money and investing. The fact is, you're supposed to check with an independent source for that information, not the salesperson who sold you the mutual fund.
It wasn't like a sales deal.
Yes, it is.
How is it a sales deal?
Because somebody made a commission for selling you a mutual fund.
Well, somebody's
probably Joanne.
My money, just like everybody's making money off of your money.
That's not the point, dear. The